Why these tonic herbs didn't work for you. So this is a very important video to make because I have been in this kind of industry or whatever for over 10 years now, and I have tried probably every single tonic herb or medicinal herb or supplement that really was trending during that time until these days. Actually, last couple of years I just found what works, so I stopped trying new shit, honestly, because I don't really need it. I found the most powerful things now, so it's like whatever. But anyway, I've over that time I have consulted with a lot of people who are kind of like a rat on a spinning wheel getting nowhere. And we're going to talk about how you can get off that spinning wheel in regards to supplements and things, and troubleshoot things to have a greater percentage of success in the future. So the big thing I really want to focus on is tonic herbs and adaptogenic herbs, why they may not work for you right now, and a proper mindset to make them work in the future. So really big example. So you need to understand when you take tonic herbs, okay, or even make diet changes or nutrition changes, or when you start an exercise program or a stretching routine, mobility routine, a yoga routine, you have to understand that there is a dose-response relationship where sometimes too much of a tonic herb or too much fiber or whatever, too much of an exercise can actually have the opposite effect. It can actually make you worse. It could be too much. And so you need to make sure that you're taking the right dose for you. So for example, at rhodiola, I just made a video about it. If you take, for some people, so the average dose is around 300 milligrams a day, okay? If you take too much rhodiola, it can make you tired and cause insomnia at the same time. But if you take just the right dose, it can make you feel focused, have amazing energy. It can increase your performance and your endurance and your recovery, and have an anti-anxiety effect all at the same time. It's a miracle pill for many people. For some people, though, they need to take significantly less than the average dose commonly seen as effective. So while most pills are around 250 to 500 milligram capsules for rhodiola, and while the common effective dosage is around 300 milligrams, some people need to take 50 to 100 milligrams a day, and if they go over that dose, they will feel all the negative effects. So here's the problem: is a lot of people, they'll take the common recommended effective dose, 250 to 500 milligrams, and they'll feel all the negative side effects of taking too much. They'll feel, I feel that rhodiola made me tired, it made me depressed, made me have insomnia, and it just made me feel really bad. So therefore, rhodiola doesn't work for me. It's my genetics, and I hate that whole genetic thing because it's just mentally lazy. There's so many other possible variables at play, and people just they're lazy. The same thing goes with things like ketogenic diets. I tried keto for like a week, and it just made me feel like shit, lowered my physical performance. And there's all these 2-week-long studies on competitive race walkers that show keto diet made their performance go down. And first of all, it's like, what the fuck is a competitive race walker? And second of all, it's like, it's a 2-week study, okay? If you follow the right people who don't have a financial bias against keto, who are leading the research of the field, you'll find that you need like 4 to 8 weeks or so to adapt. So anyway, the point is, though, people just, they try something for like 2 days and they don't experience an immediate benefit, and they automatically assume that method or technique or herb or supplement or exercise or diet or whatever, that it's just harmful to them, or it's a genetic thing, when in reality, maybe your dosing was wrong. Maybe you just didn't take it long enough. The thing is, it's like, if you've ever seen that metaphorical picture where there's like a miner, right? Like a person with a pickaxe, and they're like chopping away at the ground, and they're digging into the ground, and then they hit like this wall where they stop digging into the ground, and right about 2 feet, if they dug 2 feet deeper, they would have reached a bunch of diamonds and gold underground. Okay? If you've ever seen that picture, okay? And it's like, at first, you might feel like, oh, it's not working as well as I thought it would or whatever. But if you just would have waited another week, or maybe lowered the dose or whatever, you'd eventually reach the goal that you've been seeking for all along. And so this actually, this fuels the addiction to novel information, novel supplements. And so not only do a lot of the best methods and the best supplements and the best diets require some patience and some trial and error and some dosing changes, like a lot of these things, like ginseng, for example. If you take too much freaking ginseng, and it's really easy to take too much Panax ginseng, for example, or Korean red ginseng, okay? It's very, very hard to find the right type, first of all. If you haven't researched deeply enough on the types of ginseng and whatnot, like, you need to read a decent book on herbs, okay? So you know what quality actually is. Then you're not going to get the right result. If you're buying the cheap shit, the name brand stuff that you find at the store, and you're not getting like the freaking family-owned farm ginseng or whatever that you can actually buy the roots from or whatever. And this goes for all herbal supplements. Someone that you really know and can trust. You're just like buying the sugar honey packed vials or whatever. Anyway, the dose makes the poison, okay? Too much ginseng, for example, makes people jittery, okay? But people are like, fuck it, ginseng's just like too stimulating for me. And it's like, yeah, sure, a lot of people shouldn't be taking ginseng, right? Because everyone thinks, oh, it's just going to make me lose weight, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. No, it'll actually increase your appetite, might make you sweat, might make you hot, etc. But you take just the right amount for you. Some people just need a little bit of ginseng, and it gives them everything that they need. They feel sharp, they feel amazing, and they save money because high-quality ginseng is expensive anyway, right? Or like reishi mushroom, for example. With reishi mushroom, and this happened to me, you could find videos of me going back and forth. I'm like, oh, reishi makes me depressed. Reishi is so amazing. Reishi does this and that. Lowered my libido. Oh, it increased my libido. So here's the thing about that. Reishi, especially the higher quality reishi. Most people buy the stupid stuff. They buy the Paul Stamets or the Host Defense, which is bullshit, or the mushrooms, which is just bullshit. The mycelium, bullshit. You need to take Lost Empire herbs or the Hyperion herbs, which is the best. Or there's other ones too that are really expensive but really good. You need to find some high quality fruiting body, dual extracted, 10-to-1 or 16-to-1 concentrated powder of reishi. Not the mycelium, etc. Donwood reishi. Anyway, you will notice a tiny bit is good. The thing is, taking the right dose of like reishi, for example, you take just a little bit, you might not notice anything the first couple days. But over time, you start to feel the transformation, okay? But a lot of times with things like rhodiola, reishi, with a nutrition change, with a new exercise routine, you might notice the benefits right away. But other times it takes time to develop. It might take a week, 2 weeks. It might take a couple months. Not usually. Usually it'll just take a couple weeks at the most, right? But I've noticed people that especially with things like reishi or rhodiola especially, they take too much too soon, and after 2 days, like, oh no, it's making me depressed, or it was making me tired, so I just stopped taking it, or I returned it, or I threw it in the trash. Is like the stupidest thing I've heard. Like, your IQ must be like 20 Like, oh, it didn't work for me. I threw it in the fucking trash. Like, really? You spent that money on it. You didn't bother trial and error, changing the dose, etc. You just threw it in the trash? What an idiot. What a fucking idiot, bro. You could have even returned that, especially if it's from Amazon. You know, like, nah, I don't want to go through the trouble of just dropping it off at my local UPS. Takes me 10 minutes and getting my money back. I'll just throw it in the trash. What a fucking idiot. Yeah, I'm triggered by stupidity. Anyway, no, there's a logical explanation for that. It's not stupidity. There's something I'm missing there. There's a logical explanation for why you didn't just get your money back or trial and error and, you know, really try to find a benefit in what you invested in the first place. No return on investment. I'll just throw it away and complain and act like an idiot. Right, I'll cry. Anyway, leave a angry review about why this supplement didn't work for me in 2 days, and I threw it in the trash like a fucking moron instead of getting my money back. Jesus. Or I'll complain about this Chinese tonic herb or this Chinese green tea and how it was manufactured in China. What a fucking moron. Of course it's sourced from China. It's a Chinese herb, dumbass. Anyway, people are fucking idiots. It just seems like the norm sometimes. All right, I'm done ranting, y'all. Get what you focus on in life. And so I need to stop ranting about shit that I don't want to experience. Anyway, motherfuckers. So here's the thing. These tonic herbs, very often, they work like exercise. The first 2 weeks of an exercise program, you're going to be sore. You're going to be highly sensitive to it. You're not going to see the improvement, the benefits in the first 2 weeks. But as the weeks go on, you'll see more strength. Like if you're doing like a strength program, you'll see more strength. You'll see more fat loss. You'll see more muscle gain. At first, in any program, you might not see benefits. You might even see negative effects, soreness, fatigue, tiredness, whatever. But over time, as you take herbs, as you eat a certain diet program, as you do a certain exercise program, you have physical changes that happen in your body. With exercise, the muscle fiber types change, the changes in capillaries and cardiovascular benefits and adaptations and deliveries change. Your heart changes to adapt to the exercise program. Your metabolism, your neurotransmitters, all of that stuff, the amount of soreness you experience change the longer you do an exercise program. Some people, they won't let their body adapt to it. They'll lower the frequency or the intensity or the volume, and then they'll wonder why they can never recover from like more than 3 deadlift sessions a week or whatever. Usually people just do 1 deadlift session a week because they're scared of the deadlift and think it's different from all the other exercises when it's not. So there's physical changes in your muscle fiber types and all these things. Literally your physical changes in your body. The same thing goes for herbs. When you take herbs, like rhodiola, it changes the rate-limiting enzymes that convert things like cortisol and dopamine and catecholamines. Over time, like at first, you might feel lethargic because of these changes in the rate-limiting enzymes. But after 3 or 4 weeks, you might notice you feel significantly better because of these physical changes in your neurochemistry and receptor sites in the brain that change. Lion's mane is another example. At first, if you take a tiny dose, you might not feel much. If you take too much, you might feel depression, severe depression. But taking a tiny dose after a couple of weeks, you'll see your memory improves, brain neurogrowth factors and things improve, your focus and productivity improves. But a lot of people, they never get around to experiencing the benefits of things like lion's mane or reishi or whatever because they're taking too much too soon and they notice negative effects and they just stop after a couple days. Or they don't take enough and they don't experience any benefit in the first week, so they assume it's bullshit. And so just lion's mane makes physical changes in the brain that happen over a long time of taking it. So does reishi. So does rhodiola. So does a 5x5 back squat program that you hopefully start to auto-regulate after a while. So does if you eat a lot of fiber, which I don't recommend. It changes the gut microbiome, and at first you'll experience fucking gas out the ass. You'll experience constipation at first, maybe diarrhea, probably terrible bloating. But over time, you'll develop enough bacterial power to where you can handle enough of those fiber and shit like that. After like 4 to 6 weeks, you'll be able to eat all the broccoli and crap that you insist on eating. And your fucking colon and shit will maybe adapt, hopefully, right? Which I just don't see the point in eating fiber. And, you know, I'm not really carnivore or dogmatic about it, but this book is good at explaining that. Anyway, don't hate me if you're a vegan. But the body does adapt to fiber and these things, but it takes time. The body does adapt to exercise, but it takes time. There's physical changes that happen from taking these tonic herbs and these adaptogens and stuff that happen over a long period of time. And so if you're not experiencing the benefits of rhodiola at first, or reishi or whatever, lower the dose a little bit and just take it for a long time. And you'll start to notice after a while it was the best fucking choice you ever made, right? Or like ketogenic diets. You start off at first and you get the keto flu, but if you bump up your sodium intake for a while, reduce the amount of water you're drinking, make sure you're getting enough protein and fat. After 2 weeks, you'll start to feel the benefits of mental clarity and focus. After 3 or 4 weeks, you'll just feel amazing. And you'll feel better after a while. But you'll never get that if you don't let your body adapt. So, yeah. Anyway, leave your question in the comments down below if you need some expansion on these topics. I have a lot to say about this. I don't want to bore you with an hour-long lecture. All right? And I'll talk to y'all next time.